Svenia Busson from France and Germany will talk a little bit about Edtech Europe Tour. She's an explorer, she's an innovator in education, and she's actually also starting an accelerator purely focused on edtech in France. So in case there's any interest here in the room, definitely talk to her afterwards. Welcome on stage, Svenia.
Thank you. And yeah, so let's maybe start with some history about this project. So as I said, I started in 2016 with this EdTech World Tour. We wrote a report on this. So we basically went to 10 countries around the globe that we've perceived as very innovative, as booming EdTech ecosystems. And we wrote a white paper that we published online. It has been downloaded already a few thousand times. So we were pretty happy about this. And then we said, okay, let's do a second tour, Europe-based, so more regional, because the one big thing that we discovered after the first tour was that EdTech is super contextual. It's really local, so we cannot think of, a global solution to education. We have to think of it as a really contextualized thing. So we discovered that we need to look at education technology in a more regional sense. So we began the second tour, and next year we're going on a third tour, and then on a fourth tour, and we want to continue this and spread what we see is working in terms of EdTech in all those regions. So this tour was about 8 countries in Europe. It was really difficult to choose, which countries we were going to, but we had to make a choice. 8 weeks, approximately 60 startups, 12 most innovative schools that we visited, and of course we went to talk to teachers, school leaders, public policy people, because our goal is really to talk to a lot of different people, to have different points of view on how EdTech is adopted and seen in different countries. So these were the countries, actually, and as I said, in the Nordics there are lots of amazing things happening. It was difficult to choose, and I think that Norway and Sweden are doing great things. The Netherlands are doing amazing things too. So sorry if we didn't go to your country, but it's planned in the next few months that we visit some of the other European countries to talk about them. So let's start with Denmark, which is a really small country, very small market, but still technology there is seen as a simply, like, it's everywhere. In every school, kids are bringing their own devices. It's a normal thing, especially in the secondary schools. So in high schools, it's like kids would rather forget to wear pants than to bring their computers, their tablets, or their mobiles. So it's something that is really integrated in the mentalities that we work with technology every day. We bring our own devices. We don't have books. We don't have, we don't take notes on paper. And it's really, I was really impressed coming, from France, where technology is absolutely not integrated in schools yet. I was really impressed by how Denmark was really far ahead. So in the OECD, Denmark is the first country in terms of technology adoption in schools. So I really love this example of Ørstad Gymnasium in Copenhagen. It's a public high school. The design, the space is really amazing, although it hasn't been designed with the teachers and with the staff of the school. But they made great things in this building. So actually the whole team, the pedagogical team, came into this building without knowing without really knowing what it was. So they came and they just adopted it, and they created some really interesting learning spaces. So they have closed classroom, traditional classroom as we know it, but because of technology and because every kid, has his laptop or her laptop, they can work in different learning spaces. So it's a very open building, and they have open learning spaces, and the pedagogy has been built around the space. So because the space is so open, I mean, it's impossible for teachers to have, like, you know, a very top-down traditional classrooms because, you know, because of the sound and because of everything. So they've adopted the space in some kind of way that is really, really interesting, and you know, the independence of the learners is really huge in this gymnasium. And it's really about how to do projects, how to do collaborative learning in this space, and teachers are really there as mentors and guiding the students through the learning. So yeah, and it's a public school, so I really like it about it. Then I went to Finland. Of course, Finland has a great reputation in terms of education, but in terms of technology, a few years back, it wasn't that evident for Finland to integrate technology in their education system. But now it's changing. Now the ecosystem is growing in terms of the community is growing thanks to EdTechxEurope. You will see some of their startups pitching later. They have doing a great job. They're an accelerator for EdTech startup based in Helsinki. And thanks to them, I mean, lots of startups have been, you know, created, growing, funded, and one of them, I mean, it's not one of them, Cow Agency is a startup, but it has not been through this accelerator. But I really love it because it has been created by teachers. Teachers who were completely lost in the world of edtech, not really finding the right products, some kind of products that they really can use in their classroom. So they developed standards for basically testing the quality, the pedagogical quality of edtech products. So what they do is they have developed several standards, several dimensions, and they have, with research and with teachers, developed those standards. So basically they rate products in terms of how pedagogically effective are they. And I think it's super important today to have those kind of products, because oftentimes we use edtech just, you know, for the sake of technology. And I think this kind of edtech should disappear. So they look at how a product is, you know, enhancing collaboration, enhancing like 21st century skills, more than how well, you know, a student can memorize a specific topic or specific subject with a product. So I think we really need this kind of standards, this kind of evaluation, completely independent evaluation of edtech products, and they're doing an amazing job. Then I went to Estonia, very digital country. Everything is digital there. I mean, of course they had digital residency, but that's not it. I mean, they really want to integrate coding into schools. It's really one of their big priorities, policy-wise, and they have great startups. So Skype is born in Estonia, and Skype's founder is also a board member of this great startup called Linguist. I really love Linguist because it was created by a scientist, a nuclear physicist, who worked at CERN, and he helped develop. He helped find the boson-Higgs particle. And after that, he said, "Okay, why can't we use the same machine learning techniques that we used for physics to learn language?" And then he developed a software to learn a language in 200 hours. And so that's how he learned French, basically. He learned French in 200 hours, and now if you go on Linguist, you can, thanks to all his, you know, algorithm, machine learning, you can learn the language very fast, and that's the promise of Linguist. So they have a huge team, actually, of linguists that work on how to learn a language, are specialized in how to learn languages, and then they have a huge team of data scientists that work together with the linguists and, you know, make you know, the perfect way of you learning a language. So they are now pretty huge. They have 700,000 learners on their platform, and and they have now 5 languages you can learn from. Then in Poland, I met a wonderful startup called Brainly. I think you all know Brainly. It's one of the all-stars, of EdTech around the globe. So Brainly has now 80 million monthly users. It's basically a student-run platform for students to help each other, doing their homework, or if they have any questions, they can ask questions on Brainly, and their questions can be answered by other students. And I really love this peer learning approach, where they have moderators, teachers that moderate a bit, but it's still very student-led, and I really love it. Then I went to Spain, and Catalonia is a very, very a region that is very innovative in terms of education. They have bad results at national tests, but they're really trying to do better. So they have a great public-private partnership there, where the government partnered with the big foundation called the Mobile World Foundation to create this M-School project that basically targets 14 to 17 years old kids to create apps that can help solve a problem they have in their community. So they basically have to code, have to develop, have to think about ideas to solve a specific problem, and they have to use their mobile phones to do it and to code an app. And I really think, making students be creators with technology and not just consumers is really important. That's what this program is about. And then the last country I'm going to present is France. I'm coming from France, and I think there's some amazing things happening there at the moment. A lot of great initiatives are growing, and one of them is this EdTech Master program we have in France, run by the CRI. It's a public program, a public university doing this, and I really love it because it's all about project-based learning, collaboration, and they have a really great challenge-based program where really they challenge their students to go find projects they can work on, and they learn lots of different things. They learn a few about entrepreneurship, about data science, about gamification. So at the end of the 2 years, they have a lot of practical experience because they have to do internships, of course, but then they also have theoretical knowledge about all the new technologies and ways of learning that emerge to create, creators, entrepreneurs, researchers for the education technology field. So it's a really great example that I love. Well, thank you for your attention. Please get in touch if you want to learn more about the tours, about the accelerator that I'm also launching next year in France. So yeah, please don't hesitate to contact me, and thanks for being here. Thank you.